Hey ho out there, everybody. What's up? If you're like I am, you're truly asking that question, what's up? And I hadn't been really feeling the greatest here lately. Kind of got my own little struggles and stuff going on, and a lot of stress and so on and so forth. But it comes from the stupidity that I'm seeing. Not like every time that you look around at like what's going on, and I seen this popped up on YouTube earlier today. And I'm like, okay, boy, I flipped over to it and I thought, boy, here, White House press briefing, it says, just grab you a glass of wine or grab you, glass of whiskey or a bottle of beer. I'm just kidding. Get you something to drink or whatever and just hang out with me here for a while because it's truly, like I said, what's up? What is going on? Because this whole regime of what's going on is stupid. But White House press briefing, right? So I jumped on there and I waited a while and I thought, okay.
The president was excited.
And then what pops on here that is such breaking news or whatever? Okay.
To host Taoiseach of Ireland for a bilateral meeting.
He went to Ireland for a bilateral meeting here with old Jean-Claude Van Stupid here.
You all know this is a long-standing annual tradition. The leaders of our countries, and it is an opportunity to reaffirm the close and enduring partnership between the United States and Ireland and the strong.
United States and Ireland. Okay, and then don't get me wrong. I think that, we should have a bunch of allies, not just Ireland, but I think, all of them should be our allies. But why isn't that? I mean, every one of you's out there, and coincidentally, I'd like to say hey to Miss Kim and Miss Charlotte out there. Big shout out to our buddy Dave up there in Chillicothe. Really appreciate you guys hanging in and growing this channel with me and stuff. I'm still learning, still struggling. Sometimes I don't even want to do this because of all the garbage that's going on. But then I stop and I think and I get reminded of all the time about the children that is. Stuff's happening too. I just and that's what keeps me going, So anyway, but I jump on here and I look and they're just wanting to let everybody know that he's over having lunch with Ireland, and okay, great, but what about us, we the people here, that this is our country and they keep smashing in all these invaders and stuff on us, and they're giving them thousands upon thousands of dollars and giving those way more rights than what we, the people, have in our own house, our own country. This is our own place. And I don't know about you all, but actually, I do know about a lot of things out there because we talk about it all the time. But when you finally learn how these other countries genuinely feel about us here in America, it's like, who have we had representing us? What have they been doing? And it is just unbelievable, some of the stories and stuff that I have heard, and then whenever you look into it and you find out that it's okay, that just leads me right into the Oscars. Did anybody watch the little Oscar shenanigan the other night? Okay, I didn't watch it. Of course, everybody wanted to point out about that traitor, rotten good for nothing John Cena or whatever. Y'all pray for Gnome. She's struggling right now, and I appreciate all the prayers you've been praying for her and stuff. She really is having a rough time right now. And with that being said, we'd also like to ask you real quick here, say a prayer for Linda Queen. That she just had an operation and stuff, and that you know, if she could use your prayers and stuff, would greatly appreciate that. But this whole thing with the Oscars and what's it, John Cena? Okay, what was he? Was he a UFC or was he a wrestler? What was he? Besides an idiot, what is he?
WWE wrestler.
Okay, he's a worldwide idiot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so anyway, he's a wrestler dude or whatever, likes to grapple with men, I guess. Okay. So, he comes out naked, and supposedly this is, I mean, their narrative that they want to say, or their story, or whatever they want to run with, is that there was a stripper or a streaker back in 1974 that ran across the Oscars, you know, on TV. You remember when all we had was just the brain washing 3 channels, you know, and you'd get 4 if you stood on top of the rooftop with a piece of aluminum foil between your teeth and one in your hand like the Statue of Liberty while you scream down, "How's that?" You know, and then you'd have to move around a little bit to get us. Anyway, like, here's a plug for Right Side News Broadcasting, RSBN or whatever it is. They do a really, really good job. You know, Christian based company. But then you still have the diehards that won't give up, like CNN. Man, I can't wait till they're gone. You know, what is it they call them? CNN. That's the corrupt news network, or what do they call them? Communist news network. That's it. And that so fits them. And so George Cena, he comes out. You know what? Matter of fact, here, give me just a minute. Hey, now, now old George Cena there, John Cena, Weenie Cena, whatever his name is. Okay, here's another dipstick right here, Jimmy Kimmel, I think that's his name. This is an insult to humankind right here also. But here we go. If you haven't seen this here wonderful little skit here, let's just enjoy it together. Look at this stupid stuff. This is why nobody watches this garbage anymore.
Tonight is the 50th anniversary of what used to be the craziest moment in Oscar history. At the 46th Academy Awards in 1974.
Okay, here, they're going to show you what happened in 1974. So,
David Niven was in the middle of introducing Elizabeth Taylor
right
when
here.
a nude man, a streaker, ran across the stage. Can you imagine if a nude man ran across the stage today?
Oh my, boy, they're such geniuses. Wow, I wonder what's going to happen.
I said, can you imagine if a nude man ran across the stage today? Wouldn't that be crazy? Psst, Jim. What? I can't come there. Do the thing. Excuse me for a second. What's going on? You're supposed to run across the stage.
I changed my mind. I don't want to do the streaker bit.
What do you mean you don't want to do the streaker bit anymore? We're doing it.
I just don't feel right about it. It's an elegant event. You know, honestly, you should feel shame right now for suggesting such a...
Yeah, he really, they all should be ashamed of this right here. This here is a treasonous sellout coward right here because, you know, this, I don't even want to call him a man. He's just a turncoat coward, but he
Is facing backlash today after apologizing for comments he made while promoting the new movie Fast and Furious 9. In a TV interview, the wrestler turned actor who speaks Mandarin called Taiwan a country.
台湾是第一次国家看到速度与激情9。
That comment is a big no-no in China, which considers Taiwan a part of China.
That's your mistake.
Now they are calling for a boycott of the movie.
我狠狠保证对我的错误。
Cena posted this video on Chinese social media, profusely apologizing.
我爱更尊重中国更中国人。
But here in the USA, he's being taken to task for kowtowing to the Chinese communist dictatorship.
It's all about money, and money speaks, and we know that China has a large stake in a lot of these people's careers.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton called it pathetic. Clearly, a lose-lose for John Cena.
我狠狠保证对
He didn't just apologize to China. He, begged for their forgiveness in their own language. You know, ain't nothing wrong with speaking Mandarin. I mean, beautiful language. I think the Chinese are beautiful, intelligent, wonderful human beings. I mean, very, very intelligent. But guess what? I can say the same for the Indians. I can say the thing for, just pick a country. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, brilliant people are brilliant. Don't matter where they're from. But this here is just evilness. You know what I mean? Stand for something. But here, let's enjoy the rest of this little
tasteless idea.
tasteless ideal. That's right.
No body is not a joke.
Mine is.
He says the human body's not a joke. And this one, rightfully so on this, said his is. His body's a joke. Yeah. Well, they are whenever you're doing nasty stuff.
It's not.
You wrestle naked. Why not?
Dude, I don't wrestle naked. I wrestle in jorts.
Jorts are.
Jorts. Not shorts. See, he's so embarrassed in his head that he can't even keep his words straight or whatever.
Worse than naked. Come on. You really not gonna do this? Fine, just give out the award then. God. We're worst.
I find it kind of ironic too. These same people that says they don't believe in God and everything find it in their vocabulary all the time. Like as he walked off, he's like, "Just do the skit then, God." You know? Does that strike anybody else as just kind of? Oh, let's look at this. Now, there's absolutely nothing at all funny about this, like it's never been done before or whatever, but this here is a humiliation ritual. Cat Williams, who is a phenomenal actor and comedian, but to be a really good comedian, you have to be really, really sharp minded, as the truck drivers. I don't think there's so many truck drivers that I've talked to out there in America that's just, when you get a conversation struck up, man, they are just so intelligent because they spend their time thinking and really, really pondering on key stories or topics that really matter. And some of the best inventors I think that I've ever talked to had been truck drivers at one time or another. I guess when you're turning that many miles and spending that much time to yourself like that you actually can, figure out a lot of problems and stuff. But you know what? That would ring true also, to house moms and teachers, doctors, lawyers. The guy that, runs the equipment, trash truck drivers and stuff. So it's just, I mean, true Americans and just true humans, actually. You know, I guess that would be a great segue for me to say thank you to the people watching from Canada and the other parts of the world and stuff. You guys was actually the inspiration behind me. You know, whenever if you pay attention to, like, whenever I make a short video, you know, the Lord's first, you know, the cross, and then the folded hands is, you know, we all need to pray to God and ask Him for our needs and to thank Him each and every day. But the flag, of course, is for our country and our people here. But the world is for all those around the world who has stood up for we the people here in the United States. Even though they're not American, they're amazing, brilliant human beings. And so this is just a little quick that I'd like to say. That's why that I have the lineup that I do on the shorts there and stuff at the end. But I appreciate each and every one of you out there for subscribing, helping me grow this channel. You guys' comments are amazing. Unless it's something that's, you know, just across the line or something, I keep them. I don't delete none of them or anything like that, unless it's vicious and, you know, out to hurt somebody or something like that, you know, which it happens all the time, you know, and I really can't understand it. I mean, I don't understand. If you say, let's protect a baby, how could anybody say anything mean about that? And I know this isn't going to shock any of yous out there, Kim, Charlotte, any of yous that Dave, the rest of yous. But there's demons out there that find something to say about their body, their choice, you know. I say that's true up until the time of conception, you know. If you create it, you know, then it's no longer yours. It then becomes a theirs until after they're done using your body to grow themselves big enough to become, anyway, whole different. But you know what? It doesn't matter. That really applies. All this applies because we was saying death by 1,000 cuts. Noam, what do you think the number's up to now?
Innumerable.
Yep, too many to count for sure. So back to old this ritual here. He has to show his submission and that he belongs to the you know, people call it the Illuminati or whatever. You know, I just call them the demon rats. So if you're viewing my shorts that I put out there, I always put rat and then the poop. So rat, turd, demons, you know. But he doesn't have any tattoos. And I found that kind of interesting, you know. In a world where everybody seems to have tattoos, he's like one of the few that, so, didn't need to know that about him. Just didn't want to know that about him at all, you know. That goes into the realm of, you know, I ain't into those. And I surely, man, and you know, this is one of the reasons why that I actually jumped on here and wanted to say what's up and to tell you what's up and stuff. There is so much stuff. Sometimes you can't crowd all that into a little short video like I put out all the time. And I try my absolutely level best. And I appreciate all your comments and stuff that you give me on that. It really makes me feel good when you guys give me compliments or thumbs up or anything like that. I appreciate it. I mean that. But this guy here is absolutely nasty, and he is submissive to the powers that's over him. I got one power over me, and I'm positive, and I can say this with 100% accuracy, that all of my neighbors that's on here that's subscribed to this channel knows first and foremost who our power is. We got one authority over us, and thank him for being over us, you know. So anyway, let's watch the rest of this little dumb, and we'll get past this. So I'm not going to apologize for it, but I will say how shameful that it is that we even have to be discussing this rather than, you know, how to make good chili, because I like good chili. So nothing good here. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, let's talk about this too right here. You know, this was brought to my attention by the world famous Amy out there. And so we'll shout out to Amy here on this. But this right here, I always thought, okay, they just made a statue of like to give an award, you know, because you got to have something there, whether it's a ball or something. So they, you know, I didn't know really nothing behind it. And, you know, really, that's what we all need to do, is we all need to actually not just look at things, but we need to look at things and then say, okay, well, what's behind that? Just like with Disney. Like, what's up with Disney? You know what I mean? They're supposed to be for kids and children and all that stuff. Yeah, they're about the kids, aren't they? Yeah, they sure are. Okay, so anyway, this is actually a representation of the statue of, is it Baal? Anyway, there's a statue somewhere, and it almost looks identical to this right here, but it's nothing good. It doesn't come from, except because if you put them right side by side, matter of fact, give me just a second here. Let me see if I can. Let's go ahead and get through this, and then I will see if I can find something where that I'm talking about on this here right here. Let's watch just a second here.
Costumes.
He said costumes. Oh, that's funny. Okay, now look out here. Look at all of this right here is old, what's his name? Conaway?
Matthew
McConaughey or whatever. Look at all of them laughing and their smiles on their face and stuff. See, this is just...
Maybe the most important thing there is. I can't open the envelope without
The nominees for Best Costume Design are...
Hey, cover.
Now, thank goodness that's over with. So, now, if we... give me just a second. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back here. I found the thing here that I wanted you to see, because this is Ptah, the Egyptian god of called Ptah, and it's of art and what was it?
Artist and craftsman.
Yeah, artist and craftsman. Okay, so, you know, like the actors of Hollywood weird. So anyway, let's see.
In the complex religion of ancient Egypt, Ptah was considered one of the mightiest deities of the Egyptian pantheon. Known as the creator god who brought all things into being, Ptah was held in special regard by the people of Egypt.
That brought all things into being.
And was also known as the patron god of craftsmen and architects. Ptah was originally worshipped as the local deity of Memphis, But as the city of Memphis rose in power and became the capital of Egypt during the First Dynasty, the worship of Ptah surged to prominence, and Ptah came to be celebrated throughout all of Egypt. As Memphis's role expanded throughout Egypt, so did reverence for Ptah's power. Ptah's companion was the warrior goddess Sekhmet. Ptah and Sekhmet together created a son, Nefertum, god of youth and the lotus blossom. Together the three deities were called the Memphite Triad. And
Alright, now, see, you'll have the demons out there, or the people who just really don't care, they will say, oh, that's conspiracy, or aliens this, aliens that, or whatever, but, those people are the ones that we need to stay away from, because they don't care about your children. If they don't even care about themselves, to pay attention to what's going on. And, we are the blame. I mean, we have to blame ourselves in all this that's going on right now, because we're each responsible for our own salvation, is what the Bible says. That means that, if you don't know God, you better dive in and, reach out and find a way to say, hey, this is something I definitely better, learn about. And Lord willing, accept, but this kind of stuff here is like, it's so ludicrous. How could it possibly be true? But then once you go back, and it's awfully hard to accept. I started to say funny, but ain't nothing funny here, is there? With all the sickness that's going on here. But the Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be again. And guess what? Here we are. Because where do you go to get the truth? And who knows the truth? Well, if you don't know, it's an easy answer. You go to God. You go to the Bible. Now, the reason why that we have to really dig in and to learn all that we can and really, really pay attention is because the Bible says not to add to or take from. And then we learn when we're trying to dig in and find out these things, one of the things that you find out is that, in fact, somebody did take away from the Bible. And I'm here to tell you, if you have one of those, what do you call those new Bibles known?
New King James Version?
No, that new, where it doesn't say thee and thou, it's all...
There's multiple ones.
No. You'll know what I'm talking about. Where it words it like modern day words instead of like the King James Version. No, it's called the EIU or something version of the Bible or something.
Oh, I can't think of it.
Give me just a second. We'll be right back. All right. I wanted to make sure that we got that right for you out there. It's the New International Version. And there's like a lot of reasons not to go with that thing. The biggest reason why people are going with the New International Version of the King James Bible is translation. It doesn't say thee and thou, it tries to straighten out the language and stuff. And believe me, I get it. As somebody who's been all across the Bible and stuff, trying to read it and understand it and stuff, I get it. I understand. So there's nothing wrong. I don't know. Noam, help me out there. You know what? You guys, if you would, leave me a comment. And I guess that's like a really good question that I'd ask your help with or whatever. What do you guys think about that? Is your guys' opinion that it's okay for the NIV to be there? Should you even read the thing? I mean, because Noam is back there and say it out loud. They can't see you shaking.
No, it's not right. I understand that humans over the years have taken out of the Bible, and they'll have to pay for that one day, those who have done it. I believe that the King James Version is the most accurate version. I think it's right. You're not supposed to take any word out of the Bible, whether it be the word the word a, or they, or thou.
Totally agree.
Yes, it is hard to follow, but that's where you dig in, do as much research as you can, and follow the Bible as close as you can. None of us will ever understand the Bible in its entirety until the day we get to heaven and God reveals it to us.
Amen. It is easier to read, you know, the NIV version, you know. So,
narrow is the path.
Well, no, and I get where you're coming from. Noam is hardcore King James, and I get it, and she's right. But I'm just saying that I know a lot of people, including myself, especially starting out, when you was trying to, you know, and I know that the Lord will give us, you know, the meaning when we're supposed to have it, and if we're worthy to have it. He gives me stuff all the time. And when I say that I read it, I mean I literally picked it up one time and I read a few verses so I could see how they worded it, you know, what the differences was in it. But that's all I've ever. I don't own one. I don't have one. But I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, you guys, let me know your guys' thoughts out there. I'm with you, Noam. I think, you know, but I don't see anything wrong with. I'll say this now, but I don't see anything wrong with it if you read it and then you go back and proofread it, you know, and then if it's changed and it's offending you, which it does me, because it says, you know, because one word, you know, steers you. It's just like firing a gun. You know, if you're off just the slightest little bit, it may not make a difference up close. But if you're wanting that long distance, you know, like, you know, to make it where we all want to go to heaven, you know, the further that bullet goes, if it's off a little bit, you know, the more off it gets, you know, the further it goes. Anyway, so back to this here. Listen to this right here. Now, this here is comparing. This is what the Oscar statue is modeled after. Now, they'll try to say it was after, what was it known that they said it was after somebody's
future husband they met, and she was supposed to make the Oscar statue, and she asked him to pose naked for it.
Right.
And, yeah.
But if you think about it, actors always say that they're artists, you know, and all this stuff. So listen to this one part here, right here, coming up.
From the lotus blossom. Together the three deities were called the Memphite Triad, and their cult was one of the largest of the Egyptian dynastic history. Egyptians who were part of the Memphite Triad cult believed that Ptah was the most important of all of Egypt's gods.
The Ptah was the most important.
Ptah was revered by his followers as the most ancient god, and therefore the creator of all
Now, see right here?
things, including other deities, the sun, the earth, and was responsible for new growth and vegetation. Various creation stories of Egyptian
See, the sun, the earth, the new creation, you know, all things living and stuff.
mythology state
We
that
know
Ptah
that-
made the other deities of the pantheon by imagining them in his heart and speaking them into life with his tongue. After speaking the gods into being, he then began to breathe on wood, metal, and stone to make the other creatures of the cosmos. Whenever a new
Spoke on to the metal and the stone and made them live, see? Who made the metal and the stone? Let's see here. See, this is all a bunch of garbage. But guess what? They have found a way to put this stuff into our way of living, and we just accept it now. Nobody asks a question, especially whenever you're born and there's something that's already been happening, you know, like the Oscars once a year, you know, where they all have to worship their God there or whatever in there. Because if you noticed in the audience and stuff, whenever he was George Snuffleupagus there, whatever his name is, Senile. Yeah, George Senile there. Whenever he was standing there all naked and they're all laughing, see, that's what they're all doing. They're all standing around worshiping that little statue there, you know.
Town, city, village, temple or shrine was built, it was said that Ptah must have spoken them into being first.
He must have spoken them into being first. Wow. Who's that reminded of? Anyway, you get the gist of what I'm saying. So if you want to, do your more research on that and stuff. And matter of fact, I'll give this a real quick look and see if there's anything else that we want to talk about before we get away from this here. So we'll be right back. All right, so there's one bit here that I found. It was actually right immediately after I went to a quick time out there or whatever. But listen to this, because this guy says that any time after something was created, just listen here.
Stone to make the other creatures of the cosmos. Whenever a new town, city, village, temple or shrine was built, it was said that Ptah must have spoken them into being first, and it was Ptah's ceremonies that were often first celebrated after breaking ground.
Okay, so once they created, or it created, whatever it was, like the town or building or whatever it was created, then there would be a celebration. Well, to me, first thing that I know is like whenever they create their movie, their little brainwashing, corrupt, evil thing that absolutely means nothing at all, their little movie that they put out, then they all get together once a year to make sure that they worship their God by handing out little statues of it and all that stuff. So that's what it's garbage. So again, we'll be right back. All right, so I found this right here, but as you can see, the little depiction here holding their little staffs or whatever, sort of like they call it an Oscar, but we know it's Ptah or whatever. So this here is like one of the earlier renditions of. If you look at the Oscar, you'll see, So just wanted to show you that real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I found this right here for you, and if you look right here, here's the Oscar, and here's Ptah or whatever. Notice that got the staff here and the staff here. So Ptah and the Oscar, and look, So anyway,
this is the Oscar Movie Award. This is Ptah, an ancient Egyptian god. Ptah was the god of craftsmen and creation. If the design of the Oscars award was inspired by Ptah, I say it is a very fitting tribute.
So, that it's just nasty and demonic. And see, they all go to these award ceremonies, and they hang out with each other, and they talk about anything and everything except for great things, or the Lord, It's sickening. And then the Bohemian Grove or whatever, that is one of the sickest places or whatever. And I don't know if y'all know who Kid Rock is out there or whatever, but he's a famous, I don't know, what would you call him? Country, sorta, pop, rock. He's kind of a crossover between all of it anyway. He done the viral video with the whole trashy Anheuser-Busch when he shot up all the Bud Light, that's him. He said on Joe Rogan's channel there that he actually had been to Bohemian Grove or whatever, and he was thrown out because he got into a fight with one of them or something like that or whatever. Now, Bohemian Grove, there's so much sick stuff that is involved with that. If you watch, Alex Jones really made his big, I don't know, what would you call it? I mean, that's really what made him extremely famous, because he infiltrated into Bohemian Grove, and he's the one that got the big famous photos of, you know, the great big statue of the owl and them all standing around the Illuminati, or the idiots is what I call them, the evil demons there, or whatever, you know, worshiping Baal or the devil or whatever. It all is the same thing. So whenever I say the devil, it's just the same thing. But he's got so many words, and that's what they try to do in everything. They try to take any and everything. Just like, how do you take, and they're not going to, and we've already discussed this on this channel before, but the rainbow, you can't have it. It was given to the Christians directly from God as it was a gift, a sign that he wouldn't flood the earth anymore. So, and it definitely applies, because it says, as in the days of Noah, you know, and here we are. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you that. So anything that revolves around this right here is no good. So we're actually going to get this here off of here. So we'll jump back real quick to something, and we'll be right back. Okay, I actually found something, and it really will explain way better about this whole Oscar and how I see Hollywood and what I know about them. And this is what we have to learn and know, so that we're not watching and filling our memories or our bodies with stuff that's just trash, from trashy demons. So I'm going to take you for a little journey here. So as you can see, this is Ptah, as we seen earlier, whatever. And then, of course, this is the Oscar. Now, I'm going to play just a little bit here, and we're going to do just a little bit of hopping here. So here we go.
God Ptah. And see, when an Egyptian king died, it was believed that his spirit went into the belt of Orion, and he then became a star.
So there you go. So then he became a star. Okay?
Star. Very interesting that we still follow after Egyptian gods.
Right, so
now listen to what Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert call this little...
Jon Stewart and what did they say?
Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert. Now listen to this. Unbelievable.
Image that they give to each other.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter?
I'm reading the prompter in here. You can read that pablum.
Award show banter is not pablum. Reality television celebrates the human condition. By illuminating what's extraordinary in the ordinary person. We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
You see,
Okay, so incredibly in our face, and everybody's laughing or whatever, and these people have done sold out. I mean, it's all about that currency and their status, And, if we're completely honest about it, don't think it would really matter. I mean, it's true. It helps them to push it even further, for sure. But, they're evil because, to sell your soul out like that is just really sad. We got a lot of praying to do for sure. So, let me show you a few more things here. Jim Carrey, one of my favorite actors, Dumb and Dumber, I didn't care much for The Mask, even though that was like a huge one or whatever, but of course, Pet Detective was good and stuff, but, Jim Carrey, he's really, I believe, from what we can find out and what we can learn as far as we can learn, but Jim Carrey, I think that he's really, really struggling, and, he's going through tribulation, or I don't know, is that the right word to say?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's really, really searching for God. You can tell he's wanting answers and stuff. I really believe that he's trying to get to the right place, which is what, we all have to do. Hey, you know what? Real quick, I'd like to put in a recommendation for a movie right here, because, just thinking about that. But it's the Pilgrim's Progress. So if you get a chance, you really want to watch, I believe, a really good movie that was actually wrote in the 1700s, I believe it was. But it's pretty, it's really a good movie to watch. I don't know if you can, I'm sure you could read the book, but anyway, The Pilgrim's Progress, it's really good. And they got different versions of it. I have a favorite version that I would recommend over the other ones. It's kind of the anyway, so let's get back to this real quick and listen to this next thing here that Jim Carrey does. Listen to this, and it's a different award ceremony.
You see, Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart know exactly where they stand in this city of Babylon.
Yep.
And it's very interesting, Jim Carrey also echoes the same sentiments at a different award show.
Okay, now this here clearly was, sometime in the past, and this actually says it was 1 year ago when this was put on there, so I don't know, how long this was of Jim Carrey, because lately, he's got a beard and different things, and as we just said, he's, struggling to find his way, and I've been praying that he does, but I pray for everybody to find their way out there, because it's, okay, so here we go.
I'm here tonight, as all of us are, to pay tribute to an American icon, an actor, a filmmaker, and truly one of my personal heroes, Mr. Clint Eastwood. I'm also here because the AFI is paying me $20,003, making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon.
Okay, and we're going to go straight into what, now he's going to tell about Kathy Griffin. And if you don't know who Kathy Griffin is, her brother is, what is that Q-tip idiot? What is his name? He's on CNN, the news announcer or whatever. Give us just a second. We'll get that name. Hold on. All right. It's Anderson Cooper. It's one of them names that's well worth forgetting. And but Anderson Cooper is Kathy Griffin's brother here, and that's a whole bunch of evil stuff right there in itself. If you go in their mom was what was the mom over? It's not Chanel. It's one of them famous people or whatever. Anyway, so Kathy Griffin right here. Listen to this right here.
Kathy Griffith was given an Emmy Award. She lets us know.
Now, be prepared. I'm telling you right now. I mean, it's one of the most offensive things to the ears that you can hear. So, if you want to skip it or whatever, I wouldn't blame you at all. But I think it's important that we show the vulgar, filth, demonic, and they all think it's funny. Listen to after she says this horrifying stuff out there, you know. I mean, there's just I mean, she absolutely goes hand in hand. Whenever I even hear her name or I hear her voice or I see her, I think about the foulest, filthiest, nastiest stuff. I mean, anything that would be offensive to you mentally, physically, all of it, it is right here from, and it all pertains. And I'm talking about what these sickos do to our children and stuff, you know, and it's just unbelievable. So be fair warned and prepared for this, because even though I know what it says and I've seen it, it still is. I think it gets more offensive every time. But here we go.
Exactly who is her God now?
We're gonna run the unedited version.
What?
And be warned for you people, you may be offended.
This is Kathy Griffin right here. And she's smiling. Look, she's happy, see?
Watch.
Now look, a lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. He didn't help me a bit. So all I can say is, suck it, Jesus, this award is my God now!
You see? She wasn't lying. She was not lying. She was not lying. See, that's the thing that we all need to really understand about all these people. She said that was her God now. So it is her God now. She still has it. But it had been for a very, very long time, you know, because they all sold out and stuff. So she just said the quiet part out loud. But see, that's why all the ones around her was laughing and applauding and stuff. No soul. They have no soul. So anyway, we'll be right back. Here, found another little snippet here that I want you to listen to. Not so much just this, but listen to who comes up next. Tom Hanks.
Well, this year, and I'm thankful to the Oscar gods.
To the Oscar God, see?
We have a great crop of films.
You are, of course, nominated this evening. How does it feel being nominated tonight?
Always an incredible honor. The other names of the gentlemen are all gods as far as the category concerned.
It's very interesting.
It's just sick. And it goes on and on and on. And see, they all are just hooping and hollering, and that, you know, and people who are not saved or who have not really taken the time or been presented with, you know, the very real position of you better get saved, is laughing and stuff when they say this. And they're saying it because in their minds it's true to them, see? And it's so funny because they're putting it right in our face, you know? So, but I got news for you. You know, every demonic, nasty thing like that, no kidding, that has ever been in my face, they wasn't there very long, you know? because the Lord always has a way of dealing with them, you know. So, and thank the good Lord for that. That's why it tells us to put on the full armor of God, you know. And each and every day I try to make that armor more and more stronger, you know. And remember, he says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But I also know that he puts very special key people at key times in key situations to handle vital situations. So, you know, and I you know, remember that Jesus actually overturned the tables and took a switch to them and everything else and threw them out of the Lord's house, you know. And this country is our house. So, you know, it might be time to do some switching and overturning some tables, you know. So, we'll be right back. All right, so I think it's important that we check out this next little snippet here that I want to show you. You know, it's like, okay, well, we know that that is, you know, Ptah, but where did they get Oscar from? Why do they call it the Oscars? What's that all about? Well, here, listen to this.
It's very interesting when you look up where the word Oscar actually comes from. It's Scandinavian and Old English in its origin, and it means divine strength or divine spear. Divine, of course, means of, from, or like a god, and a spear is a weapon. Is it possible, brothers and sisters, that Satan is using these celebrities and movies as godlike weapons against us? Up until 1999, the Oscars was held at a building called the Shrine, which was founded by William Florence and Walter Fleming.
Now, see, I want to ask you this right here. You know, how many times have you seen a building and you think, why do they have a statue of that? Or what? You know, why did they have that image put on there or something? Okay. And how many times I seen something, never even thought nothing about it. Just walk right on past it. And isn't it extremely weird whenever these weird depictions and whatever are put on our buildings that we pay for? It's like, what is that? I mean, well, here, when you're talking about the Oscars, just dealing with this, okay, but apply that to the White House or, I don't know, any courthouse that you go to, or look around and look for, you know, like at the corners and stuff, what they put up there. Like, what is all that about, you know? And let us not ever forget that, you know, this whole country right here, you know, came to be under God. You know, one nation under God. You know. But yet, do we not see what they're doing? They're trying to crowd us out of our own home. That's what they're trying to do. And if we don't do something, we're not going to keep our home. But I'm doing something. And I know you guys are too. Thanks for being here and doing what you do. I pray for you each and every day. But look here. Let's.
Two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested.
You see that? This is exactly what I'm talking about right here.
Which was founded by William
called the
Florence
Shrine.
and Walter Fleming.
Okay, Walter Fleming and whatever weirdo is over there. See the hat right here? See the Mason there? Here's the garbage here too, you know. And I'm pretty sure that's what the G there stands for, is gutless, godly garbage or whatever. That is just stupid. And then a two-headed bird and all this. And look, it's got a 32 right there. And normally, I would have never even paid any attention to that. I've been like, okay, well, you know, no, I wouldn't even pay attention to it. But now there's a 32 right here. Now, why is that significant? Because 33-degree Masons is that's when they really receive their huge power. You know, that's when they really, really get into the Bohemian Grove and, you know, going there and having all their little ritual hangouts and stuff like that, where they do the unthinkable to, I want to make sure that this unfree channel here that I'm on, YouBoob there, doesn't get me on this or whatever, but the ones that's really small and aren't able to fend for themselves, you know, the males, for whatever sick reason, especially Bohemian Grove go to, and then they never come out because they unalive and do horrible things to them. So if they do, then they are, yeah, I know. Gnome's giving me the, yeah. So, and here's the thing. It's not that I'm afraid to say it. It's, I want you guys to know it. So we have to do all this, you know, stifling of our free speech and stuff here. But anyway, back to this here. So the 32 is very significant, and I'm sure this, and this is spes mea in dio est, and I'm sure it means some kind of garbage that we don't want to know, but we probably should find out, you know what I mean? So if somebody knows what that is underneath there, please leave it in the comment or something, or maybe we can look at that. But anyway, you got old Florence boy over here and Whatsy Jiggy here, and they built this here building.
Two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested in
Gene
Freemasonry.
Autry.
Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney.
You see them all wearing their hats here?
Oliver Hardy, you name it, the list goes on. Many celebrities have come out and admitted their connection to free.
Look at there.
Masonry. In the book Morals and Dogma, written by Albert Pike, on page 321, Freemasons let us know exactly who their God is. It says, Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name given to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. It is he who bears the light, and with it splendors intolerable, blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls. Doubt it not. When the movie Life is Beautiful was awarded at the Oscars, the camera quickly pulls back and shows a wide of the stage. When you pause it, you can see elements of Freemasonry built into the very set. If you look at a Masonic tracing board, a tool a Mason uses to teach and educate people involved in Freemasonry how...
Notice right over here, this here, see, who would have ever thought of this? You know, but the black and white checkers mean something, and I'm just now noticing, but here it's got a U, and there's a W, and here's an 8, which is the infinity sign. I don't really know, but they have, and everything. There's a key hanging right here. And this right here, at first glance, it just looks like just, you know, just whatnot hanging thing or whatever. But no, this is actually the sun. So it's showing the sun. So here's a ladder, and, you know, it's unbelievable the time and stuff that goes into all the little crazy sick stuff that, and they really put it there for a reason. Normal people don't even pay no attention to it. It's like, well, what kind of gobbledygook is that? And then they just wait for the next screen or whatever. Same way if you look over here, see on the old building or whatever, they had their checkers here and stuff. So everything means something to these whack jobs.
Spot things that are connected to that organization. You can see the checkered floor. You can see the archways. You can see the sun motif in the background. All of these are letting you know exactly who owns this organization. When the Oscars moved from 1999 from the Shriners Building to the Kodak Theater, where it currently resides.
See, I would have never even paid attention, but there's checkers. This is all, the curtains right here have checkers on them, black and white checkers.
Today,
Unbelievable.
you can still see a lot of these elements of Freemasonry incorporated into the stage. You have the sun motif in the ceiling. You have the checkered flags upon the stage and the arches outside of the Kodak.
Yeah, here you go. This is what I'm talking about. Like, whenever you see these buildings, like, what's up with this? What is this? You know what I mean? What's this right here? But you know what? To them, oh, they know exactly what each one of them means, you know. Look here. Like, oh, yeah, let's put a statue of an elephant up there, you know. Let's not put, you know, hands praying up there, or, you know, a cross or something, you know, showing respect and obedience, you know, to the Lord or something like that, you know. And here's another thing I would ask, why do we need all this such grandiose poobah crap like this? Wouldn't it be better to spend money and stuff like that? Oh, I don't know, on, you know, educating people about, you know, how to balance a checkbook, or, you know, savings account into a real bank that don't really have nefarious ideals or something like that, or how to get one over on the very people that's giving them, you know, their money, you know, not give it to them, but, you know, doing business with them and stuff. It is absolutely crazy.
Peter, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have
the gates to Ishtar. There you go.
Babylonian gods put
Babylonian
on the
god
outside of.
So
the whole area surrounding the Kodak Theater was designed after a 1916 movie called Intolerance, where they recreated the very set that they had for Babylon. They have the same exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates. You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. At the 2016 Oscars,
the Babylonian Court
Best Cinematography Award, the camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. You see, brothers and sisters, they know exactly where they are. While the world is wandering after all of these celebrities, we would do well to heed the very advice from Jesus' lips himself. In Luke 4, verse 8, it says, "For it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shalt thou serve."
Amen. Now, I'm telling you, see, all this sick garbage or whatever, whenever you get on there and you start, and you think, okay, I'm just going to watch this program here or something, and then it goes on, and this is what always winds up happening to me, is just like what just happened, is you think that you know something, because I just learned with you all the same, like Oscar. Did you know that? Did you know that? I mean, it's mind-blowing how evil that these people are, that's what they concentrate on. It's unbelievable. We'll be right back. Okay, so kind of took a ride off and learned more about the Oscars, and more about why that I just can't stand them or whatever. So John Cena and all that stuff is just absolutely beyond pathetic. And I've got one more thing that if I can find it, that I want to show you about him. But first, now we just watched Jean-Claude P.U. right here. She's just telling that Biden sliding there, the Crypt Keeper, is over having lunch with over in Ireland, where they're trying to screw that country up also. And believe me, if the Crypt Keeper's over there, it's because they're trying to destroy it also. Yeah, it's so much better when it is not in our country. I mean, I'm glad, because the potential for that plane, like having an accident or something, or somebody making it not an accident, I can't tell you that. Anyway, but listen to this. Our money, Ukraine, everybody I talk to, all of us agree. What are we doing there? We don't want to be spending money there. But so how is it that these representatives are doing everything except for what we're talking about? Because if we say, which we are saying, we don't want to be there, we don't want to spend money on that, how is this not in our control? We have to do something to get this control of our home back. I mean, look, we have this much room, and they keep smashing in these invaders and stuff, and something's got to give, And this is my home. Until I go to my real home, this is my home, and I'm staying. And they don't like me because I understand that exactly what I just said. This is my home. This is my country. This is your country. This is our country. We are the legitimate owners here, and so they just want to fly. Oh yeah, that, you know what? That's another thing. Did y'all see where they flew? And I'm telling you, they still are. But they flew 350,000 of these invaders in. So think about that. We are paying these jets or these planes or whatever to load up people from other countries, and we're not talking like the cream of the crop, like the smart people's coming in, and then they're being asked questions, and they have to pass tests and stuff like that, and they have to swear loyalty and stuff. Nope. Mm-mm. Open up your prisons, your jails, or your mental institutions or whatever, which is kind of odd, because does anybody know of any mental institutions around here? Whenever back in the day, they had a place that was called Hope Haven, and that was, for people that had mental problems or something. Do you remember that, Noam, or have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
But you don't hear of any places like that anymore. It's because what they do is somebody said, well, hey, instead of spending money on it, let's just put them in jail. Because they'll mess up, and they do. The internet is absolutely full of, you can watch. I mean, it breaks my heart to pieces, man, to watch it. But they had one in particular that's standing out in my mind, so I'll just go ahead and tell you a little bit about it. But this elderly woman had dementia, and she, had got out of the house or something and was walking along the highway. You know the one I'm talking about? No?
I don't think so, no.
But so the cop comes along and pulls over.
Oh, yeah.
And says, hey, where are you going? And starts asking questions. Well, she said, I'm on my way home. And she keeps walking, and he's like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you. Well, long story short, she wasn't in her right mind, obviously, so he winds up like about breaking her arm and everything. I mean, they caused her physical damage and put her in jail and everything else, and then come to find out she had dementia. I mean, as a human being, who do you think was the who do you think was the person with the mental problem if you watch something like that? I'm telling you right now, The one with the mental problem was definitely the cop. Because how can you not tell that something's not right with somebody and then treat it with gloves? You know what I mean? Well, they put their gloves on. That's how you know when they're getting ready to, do something bad to you. Is they'll put on their latex little black gloves or whatever. So, but no, the mentally disturbed one was clearly the cop. Because if I seen somebody like that and they didn't want to tell me their names, she was an elderly woman, and they just treated her like a rag doll. And if you watch the video, they twist her arm and and it's just absolutely sad and pathetic. But anyway, we better, let me get back to this right here. Okay, so it goes on to tell about he's going to go have lunch and all that stuff. But now over in Ukraine here, where they're spending all of our money that all of us agree, we don't want that. Get out of there. Stop spending our money that we have to pay for and stuff. Or are we going to have to? Like, what's going on? All this Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and all these corrupt, evil people or whatever, that we, the people, and around the world, all of us people have given them money thinking, okay, it's just a phone. It's just a place where we can hang out and talk to one another and stuff. No, they have to find a way to corrupt everything to make it evil. And what I'm talking about, and it's as simple as this, like with you, Boob, right here. Let's make it so that you can't say certain key words. We don't want to do that. And then I don't know how many times that I try to post a video or something, and Noam will tell you that some of them that I've worked, long and hard and actually, thought about and tried to, and as soon as it's loaded, half of it's not even there, or 90% of it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and it's no accident. Certain things that I try to get out and share with y'all and stuff like that. And thank you guys for sharing with me too. My buddy Miss Kim, she sends me stuff from time to time so I thank every one of you that sends me information and stuff. If I don't put it on, it don't mean that I don't look at it. It's just there's so much garbage, So, but we're trying. I guess that's why I'm making such a lengthy what's up and what's going on right here, right now. But listen to this.
President Taoiseach discussed our country's shared commitment to supporting Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression, and the president commended the people of Ireland for.
And you say, why is it the president? Why don't he say the people of America, sends their wishes, or the people of America's representative or something like that? But no, let's call him the commander-in-chief. Should have never done that. Don't call them
leaders.
Don't call them leaders. Don't call them leaders. Nope. Don't call them leaders. And I don't care if it's Trump or anybody else. Don't call them commander-in-chief. Okay? If the services, the Army or Space Force or whatever it is out there, if, they want to call him sir or something like that, I understand all that. But not whenever I'm talking about somebody that's supposed to be representing my country. And so far, so freaking horrible. I say fire them all. I'm trying to fire. I have fired every one of them. They've allowed all this garbage with the corona stuff to come in on us. They've killed millions of people. Look, how many children are missing? How many children are missing each day and every year? We're not talking 10,000, few hundred, something like. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. 800 and what was it? I don't even want to say a number because it's so astronomical. But we'll get that and I'll try to put that out there because it's just ridiculous. How do you I mean, how do you go to sleep at night knowing that this kind of stuff is happening to children? And I was talking about the Bohemian Grove earlier or whatever, and I'm going to try to get to here real shortly about something that I want you to see about a young man that's trying his best to speak out about this. So hold on just a minute. Listen.
Opening their homes to welcome and support over 100,000 Ukrainian refugees who have fled Russia's brutal invasion. They also discussed our global issues, including the urgent need to significantly increase delivery.
Oh, let's worry about their brutal invasion of Russia, but what about our brutal invasion right here in the United States?
Of humanitarian assistance.
I'll tell you why, because this is planned. This is planned. They have been planning this. And listen, they have a whole army of people. Look, you sitting right there right now, guarantee you. Look around your room. Look in your household. Look at your family. How many do you have? How many people are actively involved with even caring about what we're talking about right now? How many of your own family, or look around, your family, friends, or whoever you got, are actively trying to figure out what's going on and to actually do something about it? Now, let's say that everybody in your household gets together and they say, yep, let's do something about it. What you going to do? What you going to do? Okay. The easiest thing to do, we're paying them, call your representative. 202-224-3121. Call your representative. That's a switchboard. You call them up. Look at one of my videos if you need an idea about how to go about doing it or whatever. But you just call them up and then they'll say, "Hello, switchboard. How can who do you want or whatever?" And you can tell them whatever. You can tell them, "Hey, I live here." They'll hook you up with your representative, and don't talk sweet and kind to them, because remember these are the same failed people that failed keeping us safe, which they swore, they took an oath to protect us. And I'm telling you right now, I am living through a bunch of garbage right now because they failed us. And I know some people that's not living at all. Well, I mean, I know of them. I don't. So, but anyway, you get the meaning here. But this is all sad right here. So let's worry about Ukraine's problem, okay? Let's worry about the Ukrainians, which all of us already know that is nothing except for a bunch of money for somebody other than you and I.
To Gaza. The two leaders welcomed the recent restoration of the Northern Ireland's executive and assembly, reaffirming the critical role these institutions play in preserving the gains of the Belfast Good Friday Agreement, which has been essential to peace and progress in Northern Ireland. This afternoon, the president traveled to the capital for the annual Friends of Ireland luncheon. As you've heard the president say many times, the bond between the United States and Ireland has grown deeper and stronger over the years. We look forward to continuing to build a vibrant future for Irish people. You need to hear me. Okay, if you see the Crypt Keeper coming, build you a wall very quickly. Shoot it down, whatever you have to do. Don't let that corrupt thing nowhere near your country. Don't do it. How do you say that? I come from really old England, Ireland. I mean, it goes way, way back, I had an uncle that did the whole, what do you call that, known whenever you do your tree, your family tree and stuff like that. What's that called?
Ancestry?
Yeah, your ancestry, but there's something that anyway, he traced all of that way back or whatever, so it goes back to Old English, Ireland, stuff like that. So I'm telling you, throw that sucker out of your country. All of you's over there. Don't let him around you. You know what? we really want to throw him out of ours. I don't. He doesn't belong. We fell asleep, and he is the resident of the White House. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube, and I can't think of his channel right now, or I would give him a plug here, but that's what he calls him, the resident of the White House, you know. And that's what this is right here too. It is so obvious when you watch these people. They want nothing to do with us. Their whole attitude is all smarmy, you know, like that they just can't stand us or whatever. But believe me, the feeling's mutual, because this right here is one of those weirdos. And you know what? I'm going to take a detour off what I was even focused in on or whatever. But let me tell you, this thing here has a female partner, okay? So you know what it is now, right? Okay, it is lying to itself. It doesn't want to be what it is. It wants to be the man. So her mind is gone. It's shot. It's non-existent. It has a reprobate mind. If I was... it's an insult. What this is an insult, because I can remember, like back in the 70s, but more the 80s, that the girls thought it was kind of, at some point, and I guess it was probably the 90s, because the 80s didn't really, but more into the 90s and the 2000s, but it got to where, especially like Paris Hilton, where they thought it was all kind of cutesy or whatever to have a weirdo to walk hand in hand with, you know, and it was all funny and against the norm and all that, you know. So it was all ha ha he he. But now it's gone to the point now to where, do you understand? They don't even like females theirself. They want you eradicated. They are better than you because they go into sports and they're not the same. They think that they're better than, you know, because in the same way with the ones that still have junk attached to them, that are trying to be something other than they're not. And then they join in to women's sports, which key word being women, you know, and they're not. So that right there should tell you the problem right there. But here's how ludicrous evil that they are. What they would do is they'd say, yeah, that's right. It is women's sports. So what do we do about that? Well, I know. We just won't have women's sports anymore. We'll call it alphabet sports. You know, there's no such thing as men's sports or women's sports. So we'll just change that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. If you're that kind or this kind right here, get the hell out. Get away from me. Get out of our country. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, Americans, we better make our stand. We better make our stand. I done made my stand. I'm not for any of this garbage or whatever. Unfortunately, we've got to come up with some kind of a true platform that's genuine American, you know. I would have gladly, and I still would, I would gladly buy TikTok and then turn it into something that there's nothing behind it that's bad or it's evil. But no, instead, we got that one bald-headed guy or whatever, what's his name, that he already has a bunch of money and he's trying to buy it now. What's his name? Do you remember his name? Anyway, he was on Shark Tank or whatever. He was one of them. Anyway. But yeah, what would it, like when you would see a cartoon or you'd see a movie or something like Star Wars, you would say, well, somebody just come up with a really good idea or somebody come up with a really good character. But no, then you learn that there's all these secret dark meanings behind it, and nefarious ideals behind having them. And isn't it really something that all of the Disney princesses that they don't have any parents? Isn't that kind of weird? They don't have parents, right? They do? Their moms are gone, or their dads are gone, or something like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Okay.
No, like Snow White.
Yeah.
Didn't something happen to her parents or something like that? Yeah, there's none of them that has a mom and a dad. They might have, but they got squished out somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, anyway, the whole thing, you can look into it or whatever and see what I'm talking about there, because there's so much corrupt stuff that there's no way of speaking out all of the corruption. And that's why that we say death by a million cuts, because there's so many problems, right? And this is what they want. They want all the corruption and everything. Look, you know what? I'm taking a detour here. I'm going to talk about something that really does aggravate me. Back whenever you would watch sports, I never was huge into sports or anything like that, but if you was watching a game, you pick one side or the other usually, you know what I mean? You have one side that you usually pick over the other one. But I can remember watching sports with my dad, and Green Bay would be playing or something, against Dallas Cowboys or something, and then one would score, and I mean the whole crowd on TV would erupt, and start cheering and everything, and then the guy would have the ball and he'd do a celebration dance, and he'd throw the football down like, yeah, and you'd be yelling, And if you watch nowadays, that's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. You ain't allowed to do that. You can't celebrate. You might hurt the other team's feelings, What bullshit. I'm telling you. And it's the same way with any sports, And then we find out that even in pro football, that it's all already lined out and laid out, that it's all scripted. Look that up. If you don't believe me, I'm sure somebody will get their feel bads hurt on that. But, don't blame the messenger here. Go check it and do your own research. You can find it on there. The one guy, it blew my mind. He said that he was reading and he found out that he was going to be put out of the game because he was going to have a, what was it?
Torn ACL.
Yeah, torn ACL, And he was perfectly healthy. But when he was playing the game, he was reading that he was going to get put out of the game because he's going to have a tour. Look it up. Where are we at? Where are we living at? Because it's totally not where I remember. So jump in this fight with me. Y'all help me out there like you have been and stuff. I appreciate you guys calling in and stuff. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, so as it's not bad enough with all this alphabetical garbage that goes on, it starts off as L and then LG and LGB and LGBTQ and so why do I call it alphabet soup? Well, because it's never ending. See, once rot takes a hold, it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And so it's not good enough to have one day, which should have never been allowed anyway. Then it had to turn into a week, and a week wasn't good enough. Then it became a month. Okay, and here's a good example. What's the last that you heard with the alphabet craziness? Is LGBTQ plus, right? Well, now listen.
If you're going through a hard time and need support, the president and his administration launched the 988 line to help, and we have a line dedicated to serving LGBTQI plus young people.
LGBTQI plus, I mean, going to run out of letters, so you might as well just say alphabet plus. And then I'll guarantee you that won't be good enough, because then you'll have to start, then there'll be a +1, and then there'll be +1 and 2, and then there'll be +1. You get the point here that I'm making, and I can't wait till all of it goes to 0. It should have been 0. I don't want to be around it. There's no place for it. It's mental, and it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be, yeah. So anyway, I am absolutely over even looking at this here monstrosity right here, but that was the big break-in today. White House press briefing. Boy, come on, and big breaking news. See, it's breaking news and everything. So I stayed with it, and I thought, wow, and that's what they had to say. Unbelievable. So we have a huge problem. We have to figure out who's responsible, because when people do something that's in the government and we know that they're corrupt or they're wrong, like Jim Jordan and different ones, they have absolutely been, it seems like all they do is talk and nothing gets done. They talk. Well, we sent this, we got subpoenas and everything else, and then you'll see where it says Biden and Hunter Biden getting impeached and so on, and then you look at it, and then it's not really they're getting impeached, but they're going to start the proceedings and stuff like that, and I don't. It never goes anywhere. It's just a continuance of talking. So hey, I got something else that I want to throw on here before I jump off here. So I'll be right back. Give me a minute. All right. One more thing that I want to leave you with before I get off of here. But this right here is Ryan Garcia. He's a boxer. Now, he's obviously a really good boxer. He's got an upcoming match or whatever that's supposed to be, I don't know, what is it, 22nd or something like that. It's really soon. Now it is. But, and you can go back and you can do, or I don't know, I might do more about it or something. If you guys want to see more or something, leave me a comment or something and ask me to show more about it, and I'll be glad to. But this guy here was caught on a hot mic, and what's the one guy that everybody talks about, him and his brother? What's the brother's name that they always have? Two rich guys. Give me just a minute. We'll be right back. All right, so it's Andrew Tate, and I never could remember his brother's name, but it's Tristan. So it's Tate brothers. Anyway, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate or whatever. So they're always, into some kind of controversy or whatever, because they speak out against a bunch of stuff, and they've got money and stuff. I ain't even for sure how they got a bunch of money, but they've got fancy cars and all that stuff, but they do speak out against stuff that's going on. Anyway, Ryan Garcia right here was talking with Andrew Tate on a hot mic, I guess. That's just a mic that somebody left on and they didn't know about it or whatever. So he starts saying about what happened to him at Bohemian Grove. And Bohemian Grove is just a nasty place out in California that's just, where they go to worship the devil and do all kinds of horrible, horrific things to very, very small humans. And as far as I know, I've never heard of any females. It's usually always male. And he said that what they done to him was, the unthinkable. I'm trying to watch how I put this or whatever. I don't want to get flagged for it or whatever, but I just want you to hear, because he said on the hot mic that he didn't care. He was going to expose it all and that he had definite proof, so on and so forth. And he's crying out for somebody to help him. And I mean, he is a famous boxer, and he's using his platform and everything, and he's saying, man, come, where are the, and this is what I wanted to tell Brad Winstrup, is I want him to get with him and find out what he's got and to do something about this sick garbage that's going on. So, but listen to just a little bit here.
If you knew about these items, release the proof. There's kids that are victims. If you seen that, would you want to show your proof right away? Would you, I'm talking to them, it's traumatic. Let's be mature adults for a second. These kids went through some, look at what Tim Tebow just wrote. Can you look up what Tim Tebow just read it?
Okay, Tim Tebow. Y'all know him. He's the famous football player that actually kneeled when they told him not to, and no praying on the field and stuff, which is another thing, just like with the celebrating like we talked about. You're not allowed to spike the football and celebrate and everything. Whoa, no, let's not have anybody to kneel down and pray or whatever. That's garbage. Our country, you're allowed to pray. Definitely do. You better pray.
At Congress?
So he's asking one of his helpers there, or whatever, because he always travels with his entourage or whatever you want to call it there. And I'm going to tell you something. I think all of them that's with him are doing really good, especially, I don't know if it's his brother. I don't know if it's just his friend or his hired help. I don't know, but there's a guy that's usually always with him on here, and it's probably the one that he said, just asked to look that up about Tim Tebow. But he'll jump on there, and he's just as into it, and he's backing him up fully and stuff, and supporting him on doing what he clearly wants to do. And he's begging for help, so let's help him. But listen just a little bit more.
Tebow, thank you, Allie. I did train today. I did. I've already trained.
Okay, so he's on here, and he's actually, trying to tell him about the children and what happened to him and stuff. And he's on his phone now, and he's looking at his phone while he's talking, and there's people writing back to him, and he's reading what they're writing, and some of them are saying, oh, you're on dope, and oh, you're an idiot, and different things, and he gets so mad that he starts blocking them. He didn't want to. He's trying to educate everybody and to tell them. But man, listen just a little bit more here. But it's just unbelievable that there's such ignorant people out there that's not ignorant. That's just stupidity. You know what I mean? It's just all about getting their attention, however they can get it or whatever. But listen.
Because I'm training hard as fuck. I posted the pictures. Yeah, very much looks like drugs. Yeah, you're an idiot.
See, very much looks like drugs. Yeah, you're an idiot. He's talking to the person that's writing him, saying, well, it looks like you're on drugs, and that's what they keep saying about him. He's not. He's not on drugs.
You're an idiot. You see how all these people are super low IQ. It's sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of you guys are the stupidest people I've ever met in my life, and I'm sorry for being rude. I love you guys, but wake up.
See, he's talking to the ones who's genuinely listening and trying to understand what's going on, because this is such mind-blowing, beyond comprehension that this could be happening to these little tiny, and it happened to him. He said that it happened to him, and he said that I know what it is. He's feeling it because he doesn't want it happening to anymore, and he knows it's still going on.
They trying to shadow ban me. They trying to do all this because I'm the only one speaking the truth, and it hurts. Hey, look up what Tim Tebow said. So Tim Tebow read a poem from a kid. It's very sad. Just look up Tim Tebow speaking at Congress on YouTube.
So he's training. I mean, he's trying to stay in shape and everything. He could be out whining and dying or running or just enjoying the surf and sand or whatever he wants to do. But he is focused in on using his platform to wake people up. And what that means to wake people up is the people that don't want to pay attention to something. I mean, I understand. Man, who wants to add more burdens to your life, you know? But look, what are you doing? I mean, what is the meaning of life if we're not helping somebody, you know? I mean, I understand who wants to help people because I personally have helped people out, especially here, just not in the not so distant past and stuff, and you get bombed. I mean, they take advantage of you. They stick a knife in your back and they twist it. You know, I get it. Nobody wants to take on extra burdens. I mean, it's not easy, especially whenever you feel like that you're already doing all that you can do. You know, but look what he's doing. He's picking up a very, very heavy cross to pack with him, you know. And I say that we all join him, you know, because the more hands that there are to do a project, the easier and the faster that project gets done. We got a lot of projects and we got a lot of heavy lifting to do. But if we all do it together, man, this could be a way easier, you know. And think about afterwards how much better that it would be, you know. But we've got a lot to go through. We can't even think about the afterwards. Let's just, you know, start getting stuff done. Call your representative. 202-224-3121.
Thank you, Ali. If you hate me, why you here? Pin that. But you just gonna come up and just
see, why would you do that? He's on here trying to do something that's above and beyond, you know, and these people are like saying nasty.
Why is anybody like literally? Where's the movement at? Save the children.
Listen.
Y'all could get behind every other movement but that movement. That's weird.
Listen.
That's really weird. That's really, really, really weird. You should be ashamed of yourself. It should be the biggest move. We should do riots in the streets. We should have protests. Save the children. Hashtag wake up America. Hashtag wake up the world. Hashtag stop hurting the little kids. What is wrong with you guys?
Amen. See, he's trying to talk to them, and all these younger morons are doing is like calling names and stuff like that, and he's exactly right. Like, you'll get behind any kind of movement, but you can't pick this movement up. This is, you know what, if you ever wanted to know what to do or where do you start or whatever, let's start right here. You know, the children first, you know.
What is wrong with you guys?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you get behind any movement, right? But little kids, innocent babies, from the ages of 2 years old and even lower, newborns? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
We're with you, brother. We're with you. We're praying for him. Say a prayer for him.
Can you go to X? It's on X. I got it.
Okay, so we'll see if we can. We're going to get right here to. He actually. Let's watch this part right here. It's just.
Her sexual abuse to Congress. This is a real quote. For a second. Tim Tebow chokes back tears while reading a 7-year-old's poem about her sexual abuse to Congress.
7 years old.
This is a real quote. And I already told you I'm going to Congress next. And now?
There you go. He's going to Congress. He's going to do He's going in, so.
I'm going to read this to you guys. Actually, I'm going to play it.
So instead of hearing from me, I would rather you hear from one of my heroes. A young girl who went through extreme abuse for 7 years. And almost every night she got raped. For 7 years. And in the middle of her abuse, this is what she writes. Rescue me. Help me. Monsters are chasing. Can't you see? Monsters are whispering. Can't you hear? Monsters are shouting. You are nothing.
Arby's just learned starboard means right. And if loving wild caught two...
Okay, well, we gotta pay our dues here for sure. So, just a couple seconds here, but you know, it's unbelievable that a seven-year-old. I'll rewind it here just a little bit here. 7 years old, you know. It's really disturbing to find out how many people out there have had something really sick to happen to them, you know. And but let's listen to this.
Whispering, can't you hear? Monsters are shouting, you are nothing. Can't you feel my pain? Monsters are pushing, and it all just jumped. Can't you hear all the whys I'm asking? Monsters are laughing. You're all alone in this. Can someone please rescue me? This girl is boys and girls.
See, he said, can someone please rescue me? Ryan right here is absolutely being tormented and tore up the same, but he's not alone, because I feel the same way as he does. And if you go back, and like I said, if you guys want to see more, I may just put it on, I don't know, but anyway, I think he's a wonderful human being for, you know, standing up and doing that, because I mean, he's at the height of his career right now. I mean, he could choose so many different paths and stuff, but you know, this has been put on his heart, and you know, to have something like that done to you, you know, it's just beyond sad and pathetic, you know. And this is this whole corrupt system right now with all these invaders and stuff that's happening in our country. If we don't do something, it's definitely going to be too late. And they want us to wait until November. You know, I don't know about you, but I don't think we're going to have anything left by November. So, but it all belongs to the Lord. That's the main thing. So anyway, I think I'm going to end this here. It's always quite amazing to me how I think, well, I'll do a video and it'll be, you know, 10 or 15 minutes long, and then I look, and then it winds up being an hour whenever I'm spending it with you guys. So, but hey, boss is, you know, mending up and stuff. He's struggling with a lot of pain in his legs and stuff. You know, he's getting better, but you know, they told us when we was up at Children's, the doctor up there, you know, said, well, we're going to send him home, and we're going to send him with 2 weeks supply of medication and stuff, and you know, he won't be in any pain. And you know, that was to get him to his next doctor's appointment or whatever. And then as soon as we got him home and went to pick up his prescription, it was only like for a couple days or something, And we was like, well, where's the rest of it? And then whenever we called back in, guess what? Nope, wasn't going to do that whenever they clearly told us that. But anyway, see, lies are everywhere, you know. But anyway, he's got pain and stuff, and Gnome's going through some pretty serious times right now, and you know, I'm stressed as all get out, you know, trying to take care of things I'm taking care of, and then when they're worried, I'm stressed too, and then of course all your guys' stress, I pray for you guys, because we all got our own woes and stuff, but you know, some of these shouldn't even be on us, you know, and why are they? But I think it's time we throw them off of us. Call your representative. Help me. Call them up. When you call them, by all means, tell them that I sent you. Tell them James says hi. Start it like that. Maybe if you talk to Charles, the answer machine there at Brad Winstrup's office or something like that, you know, if you're lucky enough, he seems to be like one of the genuine answer machines that takes the time to listen and you know, understands, you know, that we're not against them, but they have to, you know, do what we the people want. So with that being said, God bless America. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. That's what's going on right now. It's not all of what's going on, but I'll try to get back on, Lord willing, before too long. Once again, shout out to Kim, Dave, and all of yous out there. Really do appreciate you. Charlotte, who else am I? There's so many. Kevin, Ken, George, Danny, Marie, Mary, so on and so forth. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you, Canada, and wherever else you are, UK, different ones. We're praying for you. Pray for us. We appreciate it so much, man. Thank you guys for subscribing. We're not too far away from 1,000 subscribers, so I don't think it'll be too awful long. We should be able to maybe do some live stuff here or there. You know, there's been times when I would have really liked to do that, like the crash that happened down at Jackson County Airport. I would have went live that day for sure. Different events and stuff. But anyway, in the meantime, God bless America. God bless you and yours. We're praying for you. Thank you so much for praying for us. We really do appreciate it. Love you, Lord. Love you, boss. Peace out.